Hi, this is Glenn Simpson, and I've collected comic books for over 40 years, and I'm showing off my collection one box at a time. Today we're looking at box number 56. We're going to start with Doctor Who a little bit, and go through a lot of doom and gloom, and eventually end up with DP7. So I'm glad you're here. Thanks so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how it's going. If there's anything inside one of these packs you'd like to see, be sure to let me know. But let's get going with box 56. All right, here we go. So, picking up after Doctor Strange, we've got Doctor Who. I've got a few issues. I wasn't sure if I wanted to get all these, and I'm still not 100% sure, but I've got a few now. That's issue 1. This is, of course, the Marvel series that reprints the UK stories. Issue 2. This, by the way, this particular storyline was reused for David Tennant when he returned for that brief period. That's issue 2. We got issue 4 right there. Got issue 8 there. 10 there, and we'll jump to 23 there. Got one of those DC one-shots that they've been doing lately. It doesn't have DCs at the front, it's just Dog Days of Summer right there. Some Beast Boy action. So we have a couple of mini-series, Domination Factor, Avengers, and let me get both of these. So these came out about the same time, and you'll notice this is 1.1, 1.2, so they alternated. So the story, you jump back and forth, you read 1.1, then 1.2, and so forth and so on. And in some way, these fit together, but they're not. Maybe each individual series fits together, or those first covers did. And there's the, well, I've got them both out. We'll just do it this way. 4.7 and 4.8. Got Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway, lots of Superman artists doing an Avengers and Fantastic Four team up there. And we've got Domino from the X-Force group right there. She's got a couple of 2 or 3 solo series. There's 1 through issue 3 there. Got this one, the next one, actually written by the same person, I think is the last one. I don't know. But anyway, issue 4. I'm sorry, issue 1 of 4. Issue 4, Brian Stelfreeze, well known for Batman stuff. Doing the art on that. Another Domino series, Greg Land, doing covers on that. Issue 1. The dog is having a good time playing with his toy. Please forgive. Issue 4. Getting some cuddle time with Shang-Chi. You go, Shang-Chi. There. Gail Simone writing. Issue 5. There. On the Run. More Greg Land. Jump to issue 10. Domino meeting Longshot. They both have luck-oriented powers, so That's a match made in heaven. Oh, and that's the final issue on that. She had an annual, including Outlaw, an interesting mercenary character. Very interesting, especially when drawn by Greg Land, if you will. So that is our annual. Then, for some weird reason, it was followed up by Domino Hotshots. I guess they just wanted to rename it, but she's got a little team going, and this team goes on an adventure. And starts with issue 1 right there, and ends all the way with dealing with Celestials. Whew! That escalated quickly. In issue 5. We've got some more Dr. Doom related stuff. We have this Doom 4-issue series. Leonardo Manco doing artwork on that. Issue 1 through issue 3 of 3. It's ugly. There was the fairly recent Doom one-shot that came out right about the time that they announced that Robert Downey Jr. was going to be playing Dr. Doom. And so it kind of took off, and then this is the George Perez variant cover, which is weird that it has Galactus on the front, but Galactus does appear inside the book, so that's why it sort of makes sense. It seemed very odd at first, but Galactus is the antagonist in the book. From the still ongoing as of this recording, One World Under Doom, we have Doom Academy taking over, changing from Strange Academy. Got the kids from Strange Academy taking classes under Dr. Doom's faculty. Issue 1 through issue 5 of that. I think that's it. All of it. That's why it's packaged up already. Then we have Doomed. So this was a not too popular series about a guy who gets sort of infected with a variation of the Doomsday, as in Superman killed Superman Doomsday, and so he transforms into this monstrous Doomsday variant who can't speak, so he can't tell everybody, hey, I'm not here to hurt anybody. But that's issue 1. And that goes through issue 6, wherein he teams up with Superman, who was going through I have less powers, so I'm back to wearing a t-shirt span there, sort of New 52 Superman. Doom Force is a book, a one-shot that came out during the run of the crazy Grant Morrison type run on Doom Patrol, which we'll see in a little bit. And it was a parody of things like X-Force. So lots of guns, lots of shoulder pads, lots of pouches, and that's what they were kind of poking fun at there. And we got a facsimile of Doom Patrol number 99. This is a reprint of the issue that introduced the Beast Boy, who would go on to become a member of, he was in the Doom Patrol for a long time. He would go on to become a member of the Teen Titans. There. And so if that was a facsimile from Volume 1, here we have Volume 2. So the The next version of the Doom Patrol had already been introduced in a short, like 3-issue run in Showcase in the 70s, and really there was still a big delay after that. They showed up here and there, but this was a return, and they're pretty much treated as straight up superheroes. You've got a traditional comic book superhero writer in Paul Kupperberg. You got Steve Lytle doing art, which is beautiful, and he's fighting some good, cool wraparound cover. You've also got old members and new members combining, that kind of thing. That continues through issue 4. They start bringing in new young heroes, or to try to help them, or at least one, maybe two, to help them, adapt, that kind of thing. So that's issue 4. Issue 5, there. I don't think they didn't really all die. Although you never know with the Doom Patrol. Issue 8. So Erik Larsen of Image Comics fame takes over at some point and is doing at least the artwork on this. Looking at the next issue, looks like he's just doing the artwork. Right there. It's issue 8. Issue 9. We've got a bonus book, one of those where it's kind of a tryout book. There's an insert in the middle, 16-page story by some new writer and/or artist. But on the cover, we've got still more Erik Larsen. Issue 12. Still more Erik Larsen. There, going up against Gargowax, one of their classic Doom Patrol villains. Issue 13. Holding back Negative Woman. Apparently she and Negative Man are not getting along. Apparently Power Girl is visiting. There. Then we jump to issue 18. So we've had the invasion, which was where all the alien races decided Earth was too big for its britches and they needed to come take it over. And the Doom Patrol kind of gets their butts kicked as part of that. There's a big bomb that goes off. Anybody who has the meta gene, which is the gene that enables you to have powers by, rather than just dying or whatever from whatever, but getting hit by lightning or all those sorts of things that give people superpowers. It goes off and kind of fries everybody who has the meta gene, which leads us into this big boy book, issue 19. Grant Morrison taking over Doom Patrol and making it into sort of what everybody knows of as the Doom Patrol. Thoroughly weird, incredibly strange, very high-end, lofty storytelling. Not necessarily my cup of tea, but and you'll see that I don't have a full set of this for that reason. But that's issue 19 where it all begins. Issue 20 right there. Crazy Jane, Robot Man. There. 25. Right there. What's her name? I forget her name. Little girl with the not so pretty face, but immensely powerful. 25. 26. This is the first appearance of the Brotherhood of Dada, which is based on the Dadaism movement in art. Look it up, although that may not help. This is issue 26. 27. Right there. Some more weirdness. Simon Bisley doing covers. 32. More Simon Bisley, kind of basically taking what's going on in the story and putting his twist on it. $33 there, and 35 there, and then I quit. I didn't get the original issues, but I did pick up a few trades. So this is a trade of. We'll look at what's included in it in a sec. Here, 35 through 41. There with Brian Bolland doing those covers, that cover. And another trade. As I mentioned in another video, I ran out of bookshelf space at one point, so things that only reprint series, like one series, and reprint a series that I actually have individual issues of, they got moved over into the boxes here, so they get included in your video. And so this one reprints 42 through 50 right there. I'm sure I have the next one on my Amazon want list. Then we get some annuals. We got annual 1 from back when it was, still kind of superheroing and with Eric Larson. Right there. And then annual 2, when it's kind of gotten deep into Vertigo and the Children's Crusade, which was kind of an annual crossover amongst all of the Vertigo annuals that year, or several of them. Then we get to the next Doom Patrol series. Mostly a 4/5 new team, becoming the new Doom Patrol. Some pretty interesting stuff right there. John Arcudi writing, and Ng-Wat doing the art. Issue 1. Issue 4, the team is meeting up with a little group that the Beast Boys put together. Metamorpho, Elongated Man, Dr. Light, Beast Boy, kind of pulling that little group together. They're having some conflict there. Issue 5. Robot Man fighting a large cat demon thing. Jumping to issue 12. This person making off with Robot Man's arm. Issue 13. I believe the teams gets their brains thrown back in time into the bodies of the original Doom Patrol. There. Issue 17. I don't remember specifically what happened there, but Robot Man's not looking too good. Issue 18. Team goes to China. And 22 with an homage to the first issue. In the first one he says, "We're doomed." And this one he says, "I was right, we are doomed." They're all turned into robot versions of themselves. There. So then we get to the next Doom Patrol series, done by John Byrne with Doug Hazelwood. And John Byrne was apparently given permission to just pretend that the Doom Patrol had never existed before. So this, he just reinvents the Doom Patrol from the ground up. Nobody's ever heard of a Doom Patrol before. And this spins out of a storyline that he had done on the JLA series. So this was kind of a head scratcher for those of us who were sort of continuity minded. That's issue 1 through issue 8. Right there, we basically wound up using the Superboy punch from the Infinite Crisis to explain it. Issue 9. There. Through issue 12. There. It's John Byrne art. Can't hate it. Issue 13. There. Through issue 18, which was the end of that. Then we've got the next series written by Keith Giffen, where the team reforms, kind of a blend of, which it was kind of what they wound up doing with Doom Patrol, kind of a blend of past histories. They don't write it all off. It's like they know, it's like they realize that, wait, something happened, something weird happened, we react. I believe at the end of the last series, in fact, they said, wait a minute, we're not actually really new. Why did everybody forget us? Something like that. Issue 1 through issue 8. Zap. Prophet Man says zap. I think this was the one where they first tried to really kind of explain why Rita Farr, Elastigirl, is actually a freak, since she's basically just a beautiful woman who can grow to be very big. And I think this is where they start talking about how if she doesn't focus, she will, devolve into a pile of goo. Issue 9 and issue 18. Bumblebee hanging out with them from the Teen Titans. She right there. This was that month when all of the covers kind of were like this, with just a small logo and the team, the characters are. Issue 19, doing a crossover with Secret 6, so our team fighting Ragdoll amongst them. And issue 22, right there. We have Doom Patrol Suicide Squad Special right there. So those two groups got together back when this before the Grant Morrison stuff. Had it out appearance of the Weasel from the Creature Commandos and from the Suicide Squad second film, I believe. So for those of you who are big Weasel fans, issue 1 here. He's kind of a different character in the comics. And there was some other Doom Patrol stuff that I didn't get. Like I say, I kind of like it if it's trying to be straight up superhero. That's just a little weird. But when it goes way off the rails, I kind of lose interest. But I gave this one a try. Doom Patrol, Weight of the Worlds, and this seemed to be, I don't know, they were doing something funny with the numbering, because this seemed to be just a continuation of the last series that then continued on into another one. But I do have this. This is, of course, part of the Young Animal imprint, introduced by Gerard Way, and that's issue 1 through issue 3. I guess you got Beast Boy coming in right there, if I remember correctly. He's a green monkey. Who else could it be? That's all the Doom Patrol I have. Then we've got a Doomsday one-shot from the annual, from the year that all the annuals were year 1, so a little bit of Doomsday backstory there. Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway, doing art on that. Of course, the next thing you would have is Doomsday Clock, the 12-issue series from a few years ago that brought the DC heroes and the Watchmen heroes, quote-unquote heroes, Watchmen characters, together into a crossover that gets into the nature of heroism and winds up intending to be the thing that brings us out of the New 52 and brings back past history and brings back a multiverse and things like that. But some of the later issues were so delayed that they wound up kind of doing that in other series like Death Metal. So there's a little bit of a redundancy here. But that's issue 1 right there through issue 4 right there. As with Watchmen, the cover is actually the first panel of each story, if I remember correctly. Got issue 5 right there, and somebody's got a thing in their head, and issue 8 with little Boobastis, little kitty. Issue 9, a Legion flight ring out in space. There was also kind of an attempt here to redefine the Legion that kind of got dropped. But it's issue 9. And the whole thing ends at issue 12 with a big face-off between Superman and Dr. Manhattan. And as mentioned, lots of reality shifting and explanations behind the New 52 and things like that. We got Doomsday Squad, which, speaking of John Byrne, so this is some very early John Byrne artwork. This is a reprint of, it was like Doomsday 2020 or something like that. It was a slightly different title that when it was originally came out. Some astronauts go off into space, and when they come back, the whole world is screwed up, and they have to find their way. That's issue 1. Issue 3, we've got an Osagi Yojimbo story in here, and this is reprinting some of the later issues of Doomsday Squad with a Gil Kane cover on there. Also tying into the One World Under Doom is Doom's Division, which is normally what's it called? Something else division, but of course it's renamed Doom's Division, just like the Doom's Academy. And this is the Pan-Asian kind of heroes who are at first working for Doom, and then they figure out they don't need to be working for Doom, or something like that. It's issue 1 through issue 5. There. And got Doom 2099. As always, anything with a number gets filed as though it was spelled out. So this is DOOMTWE kind of thing. This is, of course, for the 2099 line of books. This was included in that. It is Dr. Doom having been sent to the future and trying to find his way back and figure out why he's in the future and all sorts of questions like that. Issue 1 through issue 4. He's got to fight Tiger Wild. Right there, Tiger Wild. Issue 5. Going up against Fever. And issue 8. I guess that's also Fever. Right there. Issue 9, cover by artwork by Ernie Colon. Did a lot of work for DC. There. Issue 12, Pat Broderick coming on, doing some beauty stuff here. There. Issue 13, more Broderick art, Pat Broderick, Necrotech. Issue 16. There. Issue 17. Radian revealed. Issue 20. I guess he gets his face worked on. There. Issue 21. Shadow King. Issue 24. Fighting that Tiger Wild dude again. This is after Kirby, so I'm not immediately remembering what classic Kirby cover this references, but comment if you remember what that is, or if you can tell. Doom 29, number 25, all the number 25s had that whole business going on. There, Pat Broderick, 28, really getting graphically interesting. Doom taking over the United States of America. Doom 2099, 29. It's kind of hard to say. Doom continuing his takeover of the United States. 32. Rah, I am Doom 2099. Rah. Who can stop Doom 2099 from taking over America? Well, what about Captain America? He's gonna stop you, man. He's Captain America. 33. 36. Apparently he didn't. There. Sorry, put a little thing on the phone there. 36. Issue 37. Another beauty shot. as it were. Issue 40. So Doom 2099 returns to the present, but I think there's still some confusion over, there's regular Doom, so some confusion over who's what and when and how. There. Issue 41, fighting Namor and Daredevil in the water. That doesn't seem like a fair fight. 43, right there. And then I believe the series ends with issue 44, which is why 44 is a big, it's a big boy book right there. So then Marvel kind of did a bunch of one-shots of their Doom, of their 2099 stuff again. So this they got this one-shot part of it, Doom 2099. I think they kind of started it over, if I remember correctly. Alphabetically speaking, next we have Doomwar. This was coming out of the Black Panther series, kind of a war between between Wakanda and Latveria, and some other characters beyond the obvious get tied up in that, including obviously Deadpool and Wolverine and the Thing and whatnot. So that's issue 1, and that runs through issue 6 right there. Doom. This is a good series for people who are big into Dr. Doom. We've got Double Dragon, the comic book adaptation of the hit video game, with early artwork by Jim Lee. Right here, that's issue 1, and that runs through issue 6 with what looks like Kevin Maguire art right there. We got Double Edge. So so we're out of Doom and now we're into Double Edge. I don't remember. So for some reason this one just went up in price, and I don't know why. But other than it just being a really, graphic Punisher appearance here. It's issue 1 of Double Edge. And then that series ends with issue 2. Or, I'm sorry, that was Alpha. Sorry, that was Alpha. And this is Omega. And it's shiny as well. There. And then we've got, ignoring punctuation and spaces and all that, the next thing is D.P.7. Part of the Marvel New Universe. Have we done New Universe? Yeah, we talked about Codename Spitfire. I don't know, but we didn't. I think this might be our first major series. But so in the 80s, Marvel introduced this new universe of characters who lived in a world, and the goal at first was for it to be all very more realistic and things like that. And so the DP7 was all these people who ended up with powers and really couldn't totally control them, and the powers are mostly ruining their lives. A little bit of deconstruction there. That's issue 1 through issue 4. Right there. This guy didn't want to be that big, he couldn't find any clothes and it was uncomfortable, and it's like, I don't want to be a huge hulking man. Issue 5 there. scuzz, acid powers, constantly eating through his clothes. It's issue 5. Issue 8. Somebody's out to get our D.P.7. They eventually end up at some kind of clinic that's supposed to help them, and then there's other kind of nasty versions of D.P.7 there who they have to contend with. Issue 12. There's some sort of meta that was going to try to control all the other... What did they call them in this? Shoot, I can't remember what they called. You know, people that had powers. But he was going to try to control them all. Issue 13. There. Mastodon's not happy about something. Issue 16, all the sort of teenage versions become sort of like a little Teen Titans-y kind of thing. There. Issue 17. There's some more fighting with other... There was, I think, all of the African American people at the clinic are in a gang, and so then there's become some racial frictions, and one of the original members that's, you know, African American, she has to choose between them, and then everything changes. There's an explosion, and the entire city of Pittsburgh is obliterated, and the U.S. Army starts recruiting these guys to go into the wasteland that is, well, of course they were there already, and things happen, so it really stops being the world next door just with superpowers and becomes a very different environment. So that's issue 20. Issue 21. Still having problems in the clinic. I think things don't go well in this clinic, man. They might want to leave. Issue 24. Some nightmares going on with old Mastodon. Issue 25. Speaking of nightmares, we've got the Night Mask, who I think his series had gotten canceled. So, but he's you know, one of these types of characters, so he can easily have a story in this book. Issue 25. Issue 28. That guy that was controlling them before, he's running for president, and they've got to try to stop that from happening. There. 29. Oops. These need to go these probably need to all go together. Issue 29 right there. And the final issue 32. They kind of find their way. We'll throw back to the first issue there. And they have an annual. So the annual was this guy and featured this guy called the Witness, and so it was kind of like a year one. We got to see a little bit further back in the stories of each of the 7 members of D.P.7. And that is all for this box. Okay, so that was 56. Next time, we'll get to box 57. We're going to start off with some Dracula. Let's see, we'll get into the E's, some edge of some things, and end up with the elementals. So I hope you'll be here. It's going to be a good time. And I thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.